How is a tiny 8K VR headset completely outperforming its massive big brother? After testing the new Dream Air, I realised this isn't just matching the Pimax Super, it's actually beating it. And today we're pushing this Micro-OLED headset to its absolute limits, in the most demanding sim races like heavily modified Assetto Corsa, and even games that the Super literally could not run. The performance leap I found makes absolutely no sense. Let me show you why. In this first clip, I'm driving here in RaceRoom Experience. As a background to this title, I've never been able to get this running well on any Pimax Super, not even the 57 ppd. But on the Dream Air, this is on VR high optimized, high settings, and I've even tried this on a number of different methods previously, including adding the -VR 1.6 in Steam launch commands, but have never been able to get it over 60 FPS. Here in the Pimax Super 50 ppd I got a crippling 50 FPS, and despite looking fine on the screen capture, it was simply unplayable. Fellow YouTuber MacinVR also had the same conclusions on RaceRoom and abandoned the title altogether in favour of Le Mans Ultimate. Now over to the Dream Air, and this not only shocked me, but this was the impetus for this very video. The performance was 80.3 FPS. That's a staggering 60.6% increase. So deep diving into the actual Steam VR numbers here, the pixel per eye on the Super 50 ppd is 6240 by 6280, and on the Dream Air 3896 by 3128. Now that's not with any difference in quality. Believe me when I say the Dream Air massively outperforms the 50 ppd in terms of visual quality. It's actually the difference between the horizontal field of view and pixels per degree. Now this almost magical formula of the Dream Air of the eyes being close to the lenses, a bit like the Big Screen Beyond 2, makes the lower horizontal field of view on the Dream Air less relevant, as more is actually visible, but on the paper numbers it speaks for themselves. Now if you look to the right hand side of the screen, you'll also see some through the lens footage shot on my iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I'm sure you'll agree this looks absolutely incredible. Finally, I can actually experience the RaceRoom experience, and despite being a DX9 game in VR, it's actually a really enjoyable sim racer with some fantastic handling dynamics, great choice of vehicles, and some even better epic sounding engines. AMS2 has always been a very well optimized game in VR, and I also featured this in the main review of the Dream Air. But I had to also check it out on the 50 ppd, and every time I load back into AMS2 there's always improvements, and this game in VR plays fantastically on the 50 ppd. And I got an expected 80 FPS. This was running on Steam OpenXR, not Pimax OpenXR, where I could have probably gained a few extra frames, but to keep things consistent in testing and to provide more data, I kept testing consistently. This is with Pimax Play at 1.0 high, and the settings I use can also be found in my Discord too. And if you want to get any optimization tips, as always, I'm using a high-end PC, and all my PC specification is shown on screen here for transparency. And remember, my Discord is free to join, and I'm always happy to help you out with any Pimax related questions. Now over to the Dream Air. So we've jumped up to the next level indeed, and a solid 90 FPS at 90Hz. But as you will see from me through the lens recording on the right, it looks simply outstanding. Now no one can take away from AMS2 its incredible looks, and if you want the very best visuals, this is the one. And the outcome of a poll asking which sim racer you'd like to see in a future review video on the Dream Air, well, Automobilista came out and trumps, and I will of course be bringing this video to you very soon. You can order the Dream Air today by using the link in the video description below, or by scanning the QR code on screen, and using the discount code NLSimGaming25 to receive a discount. As well as this, by using the code you are supporting the channel, and you can also benefit by joining my Discord, where I'll be happy to help you with any Pimax related questions or queries you may have with your shiny new headsets. The third sim racing title is still one of my absolute favourites, Assetto Corsa, but not standard. This is Assetto Corsa running the pure modification, and with this and a couple of nice post-processing filters applied, not much comes close. and if you want a title to test performance in VR, run this combination. Here on the Super 50 PPD again, this was predictably worse than the Dream Air at 54.6 FPS, but I did literally tick every option to max things out here, and deliberately so. Remember, the 50 PPD is still a great VR headset, but it takes some refinement on a per title basis to get it running well, as demonstrated in this video. At this point, the Dream Air seems like it isn't even breaking a sweat. A staggering 90 FPS, like it wasn't even trying. But not only is it a rock solid 90 FPS, it's also a visual delight. And on the right hand side of the screen, you'll also see the through the lens footage. And by the way, I've also been uploading this footage as a series of YouTube shorts, and you can also get to watch them too. Okay, so enough of the Super 50 PPD comparisons, we get it, but let's look at something a bit different. Regulars to the channel will know I love virtual trucking. When I just want to relax, my two go-to games are both EuroTruck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator. But they are notoriously difficult to get good, consistent performance in VR. And on the Super 50 PPD, based on my previous guides, I was getting an average of 50 to 60 FPS. With the ultra-wide often being the worst in performance. But the 57 PPD being the best of the four optical engines available on the Pimax Super. In this clip, which is probably a world exclusive on YouTube for EuroTruck Simulator 2 on the Pimax Dream Air, I was absolutely blown away by this. Not only is this visually outstanding, and I'm running here at 300% scaling, and this is using the new experimental VR launch command in ETS2. And also a large number of mods. I'm getting a staggering 88.7 FPS, and in built up areas where we enter into Istanbul, here it drops to around 70 FPS. And just like before, I'm putting on screen some through the lens footage so you can see exactly how this looks. Now, a number of subscribers have also asked me if I could show American Truck Simulator also on the Dream Air. And don't worry, once 1.59 has been bedded in for a while and all mods updated, I'll be bringing the new exclusive Pimax ATS and ETS2 official guides to you all as well. There really hasn't been such exciting times for virtual reality trucking as there is now. And now from heavy goods vehicles to the pinnacle of motorsports, the Formula 1 season is upon us again, and over to F1 2025. It's been a bit of a disappointment that EA isn't releasing an F1 2026 game, but we are expecting a DLC update to come. But what isn't disappointing is the performance in this. So I thought, okay, let's really confuse things here and let's jack things up to VR Ultra High, basically the absolute highest settings. Now unfortunately, F1 2025's replay function only replays to the flat screen, so here's another through the lens shot showing the settings on the right. And also a visual representation from the cockpit of a McLaren. And let's just say again that the Dream Air is nothing short of the best version of F1 2025 in VR I've experienced. There's no jitter, no janky blurring, just pin-sharp visuals, popping colours and deep blacks as you would expect from a Micro-OLED. But more importantly, it's a lightning performance, a rock solid 89.9 FPS. No DLSS, just what you would expect. This headset has literally reignited my love for PC VR, and it's been incredible finally being able to enjoy games such as RaceRoom experience that have been sitting patiently waiting for the right VR headset. This ticks all of the boxes. Lightweight, high resolution, micro-OLED, DisplayPort, and after 2 weeks of using this daily, more importantly the pin-sharp accuracy of the Lighthouse tracking and improvements to Pimax Play have now firmly cemented this as my go-to device. So let me know your thoughts on the Dream Air in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this comparison, a like and subscribe always helps the channel. And there are some other Pimax related videos to check out here. Until next time, take care and I'll see you in the next video.